Live from all over this beautiful land, this is the Testosterone Zone with the fine men, Noel, Keith, and Steve. Take it, boys!
Welcome, everybody, to the Testosterone Zone podcast. This is a podcast where decades-long friends get together to talk about being a dude, being a husband, and being the defender of manhood in the homes in which we dwell. Nice. This podcast is for every man. We cover life hacks, current events, lessons learned in life, special guests, and we have special guests from all around the world, and we laugh a whole bunch. So this is a place for men to let their guard down and just be men. So welcome to the podcast with Steve and Keith. Dudes, hello.
Howdy.
I don't even know what to say. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Did you write that down?
I read it off our webpage. So.
Oh, gotcha.
I also visit the webpage every once in a while.
I was like, where did you get this? This is great.
We have that.
Me too.
I should have just played that off. No, I just made that up off the top of it.
Throwing out of there, you know.
Wow. I mean, man, that got a lot of free time these days.
Wow.
That's right, man. Me and Dr. Butler.
It's going to be a neck and neck in the Pick 5 challenge, I'll tell you.
That's right. We can only hope. How you guys been?
Man, good. Rocking right along. Happy days. How about you?
Really good. Really good. We bought a boat this weekend, and after we've been shopping forever. I mean, we looked and looked and looked and looked, and we finally bought a boat, and so we took it on the Sunday for the first time, and
all right,
it was awesome.
Congratulations,
time, man. Yeah, awesome, good stuff.
That is awesome.
So, okay, you got a boat. You got a boat too, didn't you, Keith?
I did. So this is fun because you got a shiny spanking brand new one. Mm-hmm. And what I decided to do is my father-in-law has had this boat it's a old Skeeter bass boat that's a couple of decades old, but it's a family boat, and he's kept it in absolute mint condition. You would never know the age of this boat. And he was thinking about having to sell it or do something, get rid of it. And I thought, man, I'm just going to buy it from you and let's keep it in the family, And so different way of buying boats, but still we both had a fun weekend on the water. Can't help that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. So you got what? What did you get?
We bought we bought a pontoon boat. So nice. It's a Manitou 22-foot pontoon boat. So it's not the fastest boat on the water, but it gets it done. So it's fun.
Hey, the pontoon boat is not to be speed; it's to be comfort.
There you go. It's comfortable.
You got to pull a skier behind that thing just for fun.
Yeah, we'll try. We pulled on the inner tube on Sunday, but I don't know if it's quite fast enough to pull the skier just yet. So
yeah,
we're still breaking in the motor, so you have to keep it under a certain number of RPMs and all that. So we're kind of putzing along. The kids are like, "This is so stupid, Dad. We're going so slow." I'm like, "I know, but
we got to break grandma on the highway."
Yeah. Exactly. We're getting passed up by everybody. I'm like, this is embarrassing. Yeah, I know.
So you had a good tip you were going to share with how you went about getting this.
Well, it's just sort of wanted to talk to the whole process. I mean, if you've never bought a boat, like this is my first boat to ever buy. And so being a new boat buyer, I really didn't know what to do or what to shop for, or, there's so many unknowns. I mean, I bought cars and stuff. And so before, and so you kind of learn after you buy enough cars, what to look for and how to get a good deal, and what's a good deal, what isn't a good deal, what questions to ask, what kind of car you want or whatever. But with a boat, it was just a totally different animal. Never, I didn't know what size motor to get, didn't know how much motor I needed, didn't know what type of boat was right for us. I mean, and then buy a new one or buy used, and then used has, warranty considerations and blah, blah, blah. And so there was just a lot of things that we didn't really know ourselves how to do. And so we actually hired a broker. He sort of acted like a real estate broker to help us, locate the right boat for us. And so paid him like I think it was like $300 or something like that. But he kind of helped us. We looked at a bunch of used boats. He kind of brought some used boats to us. We kind of told him exactly what we wanted, what we were looking for, what our budget was. And then he went and looked for boats, worked with the seller to get them tested and, make sure that they were clear of all liens, and did all that kind of stuff, kind of just did all of the work, kind of the hard work for us. And gave us a good, clean, clear boat to consider, that, for us to purchase and stuff. So that certainly kind of helped us along with the process. But we actually ended up not buying a boat through the broker. We actually just bought a boat straight from a dealer ourselves, not through him at all. But the whole process I learned a lot from working with the broker. Just asked him a ton of questions, and kind of helped us understand what to look for and stuff like that. So it was a learning experience for sure. And it's funny now, we were on the lake on Sunday, and I'm like, ooh, I know how much that guy paid for that boat, and I bet she probably paid this, or whatever. So you're kind of looking at boats a lot now, and but it was an interesting experience. The whole thing was really good. So we learned a lot for sure. So
man, so what made you narrow down to being a pontoon boat was the right thing for you?
Well, me and a buddy of mine went in and bought the boat together. So he and I split the cost of it, and he has, awesome. It's him and his wife and his 2 kids. There's 4 of them. And then of course my family's got 4. And so the main thing really was just finding a boat that was big enough for the 8 of us, to get on the boat. So that eliminates a lot of boats just right off the bat. Finding a boat that can safely seat 8 people was like the first consideration when we were shopping. So pontoon boats are really, family oriented, really kind of made to be made for families to hang out on and just relax and, lounge around on and all that kind of stuff. They're, like I said, they're not very speedy, or ours certainly is not speedy. There are some that have like dual motors and, go 500 miles an hour across the lake, but we're not that. So but it's fun. But that was the main thing. We just finding a boat that had enough seats for everybody to safely sit and relax. And then once you start looking at pontoons, there are a million different seating configurations. You can have bench seats. You can have seating that's made really for fishing. You can have some that are like both like a hybrid fishing / lounging type setup, and some, it's like a floor plan, that you're looking for a particular floor plan really on the pontoon. And so we spent a lot of time looking at different boats and different seating configurations, and thankfully my friend and I we got on the same page early on as far as what we were looking for. Thankfully, so if we and I were looking for 2 different things, and it would have been a nightmare. But he and I were looking for the same thing, and kind of agreed on what would be the best setup for us. And we found some that were close, and we almost ended up buying it, and then we decided not to, and kind of stuck in there until we found exactly what we wanted. And then we found some that were exactly what we wanted, but they were like, $8,000, $9,000 more than we wanted to spend. And so we waited until we found the one that was exactly what we wanted and the right price. And we had to drive all the way up to almost to Dallas on Saturday. Yeah. Drove up there on Saturday and picked it up and drove it 3.5 hours home on Saturday. But it was worth it. So
what kind of configuration did you get?
We got it's like there's 2 lounging seats in the back that face backward. It's called backward facing loungers. And so they're kind of like, not really recliners, but sort of, you kind of get the idea. They're on opposite sides of the boat, one left, one right. and they're facing backwards. So, like somebody's skiing or on the tube or whatever, they, can sit there and lounge and watch the skiers and stuff go. And so, and in the front, there's kind of frontward facing loungers that face the front of the boat. And then there's, of course, the captain's seat or the helm seat. And then there's another seat across the boat from the captain's seat. That's the co-pilot seat. And it's, they're like individual, forgot the name word for it, but they're individual seats. So it's got enough seating. It's rated to where 10 people can be out the boat at one time. And it's got a 90 horsepower engine on it, so it's enough to push it, and it gets us up to about 25 miles an hour, which is just enough speed to not be laughed at, but we're not passing anybody up on the lake. But it's fun, and it's on Lake Conroe is where we have it, and Lake Conroe is pretty choppy, which is perfect for inner tubing. So
you dock it out there?
Yeah. We have a storage place out there, and so it's in a marina, and so
Gotcha.
the marina, we pull it up to the marina. The marina grabs our trailer for us on a tractor, puts it in the water. We put the boat on the tractor, and then they pull us into our storage shed and store it for us. And then
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, when we go out there, we let them know we're going to be there. They pull the boat out. We get in the boat when they get there. They hook it up to the tractor, put us in the water, and we go on the lake. And then when we get done, we come up to the marina in the boat, call them, and they put the tractor on our trailer, put the trailer in the water, put it up, and we go. So that's we wanted to kind of do that to keep it out of the elements and out of the water and stuff. So
yeah, good call.
Yeah,
that's
out of the driveway as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice, especially that they can pick it up and store it for you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. Gets it out of it keeps the wife happy. It's not, eating up our garage and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's not a small space.
No, it's not.
So when you're breaking in an engine, what's the I'm sorry, Steve.
Go ahead.
What do they tell you? What's the time that you have to keep it at certain RPMs before you can start ramping it up? What's all that about?
So it's a brand new motor, and so you have to keep it for the first hour. You have to keep it under 2,000 RPMs. And so for the first hour we had it in the water, we kept under 2,000 RPMs, which is barely 10 miles an hour. I mean, it is barely moving. I mean, it's just, so we kind of stayed in the no wake zone area because that's kind of the speed that all the other boats were going. Right. And we just kind of went around in circles and for a while. So we had to do that for not exactly, but we did it for an hour. And then the first 10 hours, you have to keep it under 5,000 RPMs, which is about 18 miles an hour or so. And you have to alternate it's real important to alternate the throttle. So like you just can't put it at 5,000 RPMs for, 10 hours. It needs to be at like 5,000 RPMs for about a minute or so, and then back it off to 4,500 RPMs, and then go back to 5,000, then go down to 4,000. Just kind of alternate RPMs, off and on. They say for the first 10 hours. So we've done 5 hours of that, and we've got another 5 hours to go before it's fully broken in. But they do that because the pistons are getting broken in. That whole all the valves and everything are brand new. They're just kind of getting slotted in and getting pressurized and all that kind of stuff. So that's why they say to do that. But we're like I said, we're learning a lot after this 10 hours. Then we have to get the oil changed and has to get serviced. And then after that servicing, then it's I guess they're going to splash some holy water on it or something, I imagine. And then it's good to go. We're free to crank it all the way up to 25. And
So did y'all name it yet?
not yet. We have some suggestions. Did I text y'all my favorite one?
You did. I think you need to share that.
The unsinkable number 2. we were at the marina, and we were filling out the forms to sign up for the marina and stuff, and it asked for the boat name, and I wrote that on there, and I said that name may change, but right now that we'll just put something in there just so we have something. And the lady saw it, and she started dying laughing. It was freaking hilarious, man. But
that's pretty awesome.
That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. And then she started laughing, and then she kept laughing, like she kept thinking about it and laughing more about it. It's funny, man.
It's really perfect for a pontoon boat. It really is.
It really is. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What were some other names y'all thought about?
Well, we're thinking about doing because we're all like big Royal Caribbean. Lynn and I are Royal Caribbean, and their friends too. They cruise a lot with us on Royal Caribbean, and so we're trying to think of something of the seas. And so our last name and I can't say that, but they came up with like a combination of our last name and their last name to combine our last names into something of the seas or of the lake or something like that. So
that would be cool.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
So we'll see. We're trying to decide if we want to be juvenile or if we want to go with something that can actually share with people. So we'll see. I may get outvoted on the juvenile thing, so we'll see.
It's pretty genius, all I gotta say.
Yeah. So you gonna shoot fireworks off that thing?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Got it.
We probably will, I'm sure, at some point. Right now, we're just treating it like it's our baby, so we don't want to get it scratched and put your shoes on and stuff. So
yeah.
It's the drawback of getting something new. You don't want it to get scratched up. So
yeah, for sure.
But anyway,
that's awesome. So, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good experience. And boat insurance is cheap, man. Like, I was shocked. The like our boat insurance that we got on it is, I want to say it was like $200 or something for the year, and we got like the primo like coverage for our trailer, coverage for the boat. I mean, like we maxed it out, and it was like barely $200. So
hey, that's a good deal.
I know, it was crazy.
Is that because it's a pontoon, or is that just boat insurance in general?
I don't really know. I just priced out our boat. I priced out some other pontoon, but I priced out some other boats, but they were all pontoon. So I don't know if that's just because it's pontoon, but yeah, it was really, really cheap. So the maintenance and stuff on them I've heard is not cheap, but I guess we'll learn more maybe this time next year. I'll have another podcast about boat ownership and may have a different tune, but so far, it's we're we're going to learn a lot. I'm sure this first boat's going to be a learning experience for us, but so far so good. We're certainly enjoying it. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a ski boat, and we had passed down from after my uncle passed away, and it was. I just remember my dad was always working on it just so we could enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like it was just way too much work, and we never did use it that much either. But it's what a neat thing to have, though. And I think pontoon would be the way to go if I ever had one as well, because I don't need to go fast. I just want to relax on the water.
Yeah,
and that's the way to go.
Yeah, we wanted to get it because my daughter's a senior this year, and so we wanted to have something that the four of us can just go out and relax and make some memories together. And we just like to go out and hook it up, throw the anchor out and swim and have lunch out there and just, turn on the radio and chill out and maybe invite a friend or two or something to go swimming with us and, pull them around on on the lake and the inner tube and stuff like that. So that's really what we wanted more than anything else. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun rest of the summer, and we'll try to get out there on the weekends as much as we can. School year starts up and it gets real busy, but it'll be a nice way to kind of get out of the hustle and bustle of the year and enjoy some time together as a family. So
yeah, that's smart to split that cost with another family as well.
Yeah. We were talking about it, and my friend heard us. We were over having dinner with him one night. We were talking about we were wanting to get a boat after we sold our property, and he goes, "Hey, I think I might like to, go in with you on that if you're open to that." And I'm like, "Sure." I mean, that's that's a great idea. Because we're not always going to be using it, and neither are they. But
Right.
between us, it'll get used quite a bit. And I look at, like, I got a brand new boat for half the price, and and
Right.
all the accessories and stuff. You have to buy a whole bunch of safety equipment, everything that the Coast Guard wants. I feel like we could be out in the ocean now and and be able to pass a rigorous Coast Guard inspection, with all the crap we bought. But you have to have it on board, and but we have to split all the costs on all that stuff too. So it's nice. It's a good way to do it if you can find a friend that you trust, and that you guys have similar tastes and similar budget and all that. So just worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah, my family on my wife's side, they kind of did the same things. Like I say, my father-in-law and his dad got this bass boat together, and then my wife and her parents and her brother, they chipped in and got a pontoon boat and a 3-man jet ski. So, just splitting the cost, and what they would do is they would buy one and pay it off, and then buy the next thing and split it and pay it off pretty quick,
Mm-hmm.
And so worked out pretty good. So yeah, I mean, it's and obviously with the family, my in-laws live on a lake, and so we can keep the stuff there,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got the shelter for it and everything. But it works out really good, and they just kind of having several different things like I love the pontoon boat. We kind of let our my brother-in-law lives up by a lake up in Dallas area, and so he can take that out anytime he wants. So we just you take it up there and have fun with it and bring it back, and we'll enjoy it from time to time. But
Yeah.
My wife likes the jet skis better because it's more fun,
Mm-hmm.
and so we keep those, and then this bass boat down where my in-laws are. So it works out. We have built up over. Or they have, I haven't. I just kind of came in by osmosis, but they've built up a pretty decent amount of fun watercraft things over the last 20 years. It's been enjoyable.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so it's the same idea. It's much easier to go in and attack the cost of those boats with 3 families instead of just one.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
really a good idea. And so so I think what you guys did is awesome.
Yeah.
Really good idea.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people that really like what you like and
Oh, man.
and can do that. So if you find the right person, that's a good thing. So.
Yeah. We told we were signing the contract at the marina on Sunday. It was my buddy and I, and she wrote down my name and his name, and then she wrote down his address on there on the form, and and I said, my friend's name is Scott. I said, Scott, why don't you put my address on there so this lady doesn't think that you and I live together? And she started laughing. And I said, well, it's not, there's anything wrong with that, but just, we're just 2 dudes, 2 friends, and she's like, I just figured you guys were brothers. And I said, Lord, if we were brothers trying to do this, I think we would have killed each other. She goes, it's rare you find 2 friends that can do this without, breaking each other's neck before it's all said and done.
Oh.
So.
Absolutely. Friends or family or whoever, it's tough to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kudos to pulling that off. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So So how often are you going to try to get out in the lake?
Well,
Every week?
yeah, we're going to try to every weekend until certainly until school starts, and then once school starts, try to get there once, at least once or twice a month. Get out there when the kids don't have something going on the weekend, or like a Sunday afternoon or something. The lake is only 45 minutes from our house, so it didn't take us very long to get there, get out on the lake, and stay out there for 3 or 4 hours, and then put it up and come home. So it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Especially you got somebody doing the work of storing it for you. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice little.
Half the problem is, taking it back, cleaning it off, and doing all that stuff. You've got a group that can do that. Holy cow!
I know.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I just knowing for the little bit of time that I've done that, how involved, and like you said, Steve, you spend more time maintaining the sucker than you're out on the water.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome that you can do that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. So, man, but
it's pretty sweet.
Anyway, but
good stuff.
Yep.
I appreciate you sharing that with us, and it's kind of fun. And so, Steve, you said your dad had a ski boat, like one that would pull like tubes and skis and slaloms and those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have some good memories? What's a good memory that you have of that with your family?
I can only think of maybe like 3 times where we actually used it. It seemed like we were always busy with other things. I mean, we took it so it would stay within the family, and I think we ended up giving it to my other uncle.
Okay.
After some time, because we were not in a situation where it was convenient for us to go to the lake. It wasn't close by like Noel has, so it took effort, and the busy kid schedules. My dad was working a lot and everything. It was hard for us to do it, but when we got out there, nothing was better than just Dad would just open up the throttle on that boat, and we would just feeling that wind just blowing through your hair, and having to turn around and grab a baseball hat because it blew off, and hoping we could find it in the lake somewhere.
Yeah. I lost one last weekend. I got you.
Yeah. But I tell you that when he found that baseball hat and he put it back on, even though it was wet, man, that wet hat felt good on your head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You kind of wish it falls off after that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, one of my good memories just of a pontoon boat was, 10 years ago or so. I was up in Seattle when I was working for Office Depot. I was helping doing a remodel up there at one of those stores, and the store manager we were working for that weekend had a pontoon boat. It was 4th of July weekend, so we all hopped on this pontoon boat and got in the middle of Lake Washington and watched the Blue Angels air show overhead from the lake. Wow. It was a great time, and I had this bright idea of jumping in the water to cool off, and boy, did I cool off. God, that water was cold, ice cold. And
Alaska?
Up in Seattle. And
it was still there.
Yeah. So yeah, it was neat stuff and great time, and so I'm super jealous of that pontoon, Noel.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, we can't wait to hear some stories. You'll have to take some pictures of the boat so we can throw it up on the Insta page.
Definitely.
And I'll do the thing with the skeeter.
Yeah.
So kind of show off some outdoor life for us, and so it'll be good.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. Man, that's awesome.
Mm. Oh, well, I'll tell you what.
Trying to decide if Keith is going to segue to the joke section.
I'm not. I have made a point, and I'm going to stay quiet and make somebody else do it.
All right, guys, I got one for you.
Okay.
Why do boat oars fall in love?
Oh, you're going to the boat jokes.
I don't know.
Because they're romantic.
Oh my gosh, Steve. Jeez.
Hey, did you know that dogs can't operate MRI scanners?
No.
But cats
can.
But cats can.
That's pretty good, man.
Thanks,
man. Really... Do you guys know why the Invisible Man turned down the job offer?
I don't know.
Because he couldn't see himself doing it. Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's not the best work, but
Still good.
I like it. Yeah, it is. Oh, hey, did you all know that despite the high cost of living, it still remains popular?
Jeez.
Oh man.
Hey, do y'all know where Bugs Bunny parked his boat?
Man, you're in the boat.
Jeez.
You got the theme going on. I'm impressed.
Wow.
Okay. Now say that again because I got so excited. What?
Where did Bugs Bunny park his boat?
Oh man,
I don't know.
At the What's Up dock.
Oh, jeez.
I like that one a lot.
That's good, man. What's up,
Okay.
dog?
I'm going to use that one tomorrow. That's good.
The What's Up dog.
Oh my God. You know what? You know what I just figured out?
What's that?
What is the next episode after this one?
Oh, I know. And we're going to be done. We're going to be stopping on that one for a while. This is 68. So the next one.
How nice is it that we take a break after 69?
I just caught on. It's been a long day.
Welcome to the podcast, Steve.
Yeah, we're ready to be.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yo.
Yeah. So that's what so Steve, I think we've got to kind of introduce in the next episode some special news for you too.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
So we're going to talk about that in the next episode, which is also going to be why we're going to be just taking kind of a couple of weeks off. We're going to launch this one, and then after this one, we're going to take a week, and we're going to launch another episode. And then after that, we will be waiting until right before we start what, Steve?
The Pick 5 Challenge. My favorite time of the year.
2019.
Man, I'm ready for football. I don't know about y'all.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. For sure.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll kind of talk about some special things that Steve's got going on next episode. We're also going to recap some of our episodes and also continue to explain why we can predict things and why we're so good at it. So we're going to kind of go over some of those stories. So stand by for episode 69. But for now, guys, good, fun episode with an amazing intro by Noel. Can't even imagine how good that was. So y'all have a great rest of the day. And thanks for everybody for listening to the Testosterone Sound.
Thanks,
Take care, everybody.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Testosterone Zone. We sure had a blast visiting with you. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, leave us some feedback, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
All Testosterone Zone podcast episodes are written and produced by Noel, Keith, and Steve unless otherwise noted.
The opinions expressed in the Testosterone Zone podcast are our own and not those of our employers, families, parents, kids, dogs, cats, your mom, or any other entity Noel, Keith, or Steve are affiliated with now, in the past, or in the future, or ever.